In this video, we're going to discuss the best libero players in Haikyuu Touch the Dream. Some of you might still be confused about which libero fits best in your starting lineup. This is especially tricky because not every libero character has received a limited banner yet, which creates a bit of an imbalance in the game. In particular, the less famous liberos, or those who rarely appear in the anime, definitely haven't received a limited character yet. Since liberos focus on defense, we naturally prioritize defensive stats like receive, speed, mental, and resilience. Besides that, some liberos possess buffs, tosses, and combos, though typically only one or two players have these unique skills. If we look at the main protagonists, Hinata's team Karasuno, they have the Rolling Thunder libero Nishinoya. Nishinoya is arguably the most popular libero in the Haikyuu Touch the Dream anime. His popularity likely exceeds that of Yaku, Komori, and Akagi. So far, in the Japanese version of Haikyuu Touch the Dream, Nishinoya is the libero with the most limited character variations. With his passive receives ranging from bronze and silver to SSR tier, this proves he is the most popular and best libero to date. Even though his resilience or speed stats might be lower than some other liberos, this doesn't make limited Noya bad. Every player in Haikyuu has their own strengths and weaknesses regarding stats and skills. Therefore, from my perspective, Nishinoya is the number one libero you simply must pull for in this game. The next limited libero who possesses an SSR passive besides Noya is Christmas Akagi. Aside from these two, no one else has one yet. Akagi's stats are somewhat similar to Yaku's or Komori's, though all three have different receive stats. Some of their stats are higher than Noya's and vice versa, but I place Akagi at number 2 because I'm prioritizing the rare SSR passive. So Akagi is the number 2 libero, followed by Yaku at number 3 and Komori at number 4. Why this ranking? As mentioned before, I'm looking at their skills and how often these liberos are used on the Japanese server. Noya and Akagi are the two liberos who frequently appear in the top 10 Dream Match rankings, largely because they both have SSR passives. So I recommend these 4 specific liberos that you should try to get on the SEA server. Ultimately, it all comes down to your personal favorites and what kind of limited libero you want, whether it's a bronze, silver, or SSR passive. Personally, I'll probably try to get Burger Noya, Christmas Akagi, or Halloween Noya. Those are currently on my wish list. To be honest, as an F2P player, it's quite difficult to gather the materials needed to upgrade character passive skills in Haikyuu Touch the Dream. Since one skill requires 199 player or universal skill fragments, we have no choice but to save up until we hit 200 fragments. The activation rate for fly and foot passives differ. For the bronze fly passive, the activation rate is higher, around 50%, whereas the foot passive is around 40% at max level. Make sure you decide whether to max out one passive first or go for both. I always upgrade the foot passive skill first because I like the animation, even though the percentage is lower. For silver foot, it's around 50%, and for SSR foot, it's around 70%. In the long run, the SSR foot passive skill is much better regarding activation rates. Whether it's a bronze, silver, SR, or SSR skill, you still need 199 skill fragments. So the cost to max out a skill rank doesn't change. The only difference is the skill activation percentage for each tier. The rest depends on the player's stats. Aside from the 4 liberos mentioned, Noya, Yaku, Akagi, and Komori, you are free to gacha for any limited libero you want, but I suggest focusing on just those 4, as they are excellent choices for either your starting libero or as a substitute in your formation. Generally, regarding limited character stats, the newer versions are better. For example, Uniform Nishinoya and Halloween Nishinoya have different stats. The difference is usually small, give or take 1 to 5 points. But there are distinct differences in their skills or skill ranks. If you are focusing solely on picking the limited Nishinoya with the highest stats and best skills, the Halloween version is likely the answer. As of now, Noya has 6 limited versions. Yaku has 4. Komori has 2, and Akagi only has 1. So it's clear why Nishinoya is the most popular and best libero in Haikyuu Touch the Dream, so far on both the Japanese and SEA servers. However, this doesn't mean you must go all in on the limited Nishinoya gachas. This is just a general overview of the best liberos. The choice is entirely yours, whether you follow Japanese forum tier lists, player recommendations, or simply pick your favorite characters from the anime. Personally, I prefer pulling from my favorites, looking at their skills, and considering what my lineup needs. Next time, we might discuss recommendations for the best middle blockers, setters, and wing spikers. I'll base this on skills, stats, and how often the players appear in dream matches on the Japanese server. So rather than strictly following a tier list, I'll focus on skill utility and player popularity. Is that clear enough? So which limited libero are you planning to pull for? Will it be Nishinoya, Yaku, Akagi, or Komori? That's it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. You can also join the Discord group or check out the tutorials on the website at DeBuDDi.github.io. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. See you again.
Por ver, nos vemos en los próximos vídeos. No olvides los subs, dale me gusta y deja un comentario.